Boop. Boop, boop. I don't know if we need this. We will not need that. Hi. What's up? I can't hear you. There you are.
My bad.
It's okay. No worries. I gotta figure out. I started the stream already, but we're just kind of hanging out till people come in. I gotta figure out. Oh, there we go. Because I'm gonna be in the video. Come down. Calm down. There we go. And when Rob gets on, we'll chit chat for a while. So, how you doing?
Right. I'm good. I got some kettle chips to interrupt Rob every single time he tries to talk.
Yeah. I wish I would. I should have saved my dinner for the show, so I could eat on stream. We had chili dog casserole. It is one of the greatest things I've ever had in my entire life.
Chili dog casserole. Sounds really good.
Yeah, it's basically it's hot dogs and croissant rolls, and you just dump chili all over it. You put cheese inside the croissant, so you just have that, and it's gonna be freaking delicious. So.
Are you streaming through YouTube or
yes.
Facebook?
No, on YouTube.
Okay.
I used your full art card and cut you out, and now it's like you, Mike, and Smash on the side. You'll see it if you open up the. I can just.
It's okay. I'm pulling it up.
Oh, okay, I can just send you a picture, but yeah, it doesn't matter. It looks good. It looks good. It looks really good. I cut it out. I tried to keep the glow around your hands, so.
I'm sure that was pretty hard.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So whenever Rob gets in, and whenever people show up or whatever, so boom. No one's watching at the moment, so I figured people are going to trickle in at some point.
Oh,
so.
I see it. Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, so I couldn't really fit anybody else in there. Like Garrett would look. I guess I could have put Garrett where UK Smash is at, but I didn't really have a lot of time to cut Garrett out, so I could have done that, but I just didn't do it. Yeah, so as always, Rob is late, but
Hey, I was right on time.
You were on time, yes. I appreciate that. Oh, poor Trent. I guess not even really. Oh wow, we're supposed to get like 60-mile-an-hour winds tonight, something like that. I don't know, some wind shears. So I mowed the lawn and put all the garbage cans in the garage so we don't die. I guess so.
Nice.
We really haven't started anything, Barry.
Yeah, don't worry.
Don't worry.
Not as late as Rob.
Yeah, obviously not as late as Rob. We're just kind of hanging out. Not yet. You gotta wait. We're waiting until Rob gets here, man. So, hi everyone. I don't know where Rob's at. Rob's at home getting ready, so that means he's probably getting something to eat so he can eat on stream. So that's probably what's gonna happen. So, but Barrett we'll go over Barrett's card. He'll talk about his design and all that fun stuff and eat chips. You can crunch as loud as you want, man. I don't care. This is not a high-class stream. You got my closet over there, so... But, yeah, so we're going to go over that. We're going to go over Garrett's card a bit. We're going to talk about the other champ cards that we've seen. Maybe not touch on too much of the UK cards because, we did an entire show with them. So we'll probably just get Barrett's thoughts about them. So,
my opinions don't matter. Don't worry.
Yes, it does. Your opinions do matter. You're the third member of this team, It's like we're Charlie's Angels, but dudes with beards.
It's good to be back. Yeah, I should be here for a pretty consistent schedule leading up to the Rockford
PTC. Sick. Which is at 59 people.
I know.
It's
crazy,
insane.
Man.
It's so dumb. Barry, you should make it because you may be the only person in the country not here. Well, there'll be more that not here, but you really, yeah.
I think you said me, but you said Barry.
I said Barry. I know you're coming. You're staying at my house, so. That's why I had you down for pre-reg. Like I already said, everyone in my house is already down. They don't have to worry about
it. I invited Katie, my girlfriend, to come with me, and I was like, "Oh wait, I don't know where you would sleep." I was like, "Shit."
Yeah, sorry.
No, it's okay. I didn't think about it. I was like, "Oh, you could just stay." Oh, there's gonna be like me and 7 other dudes in there, and his wife and his dog.
Yeah. Oh, there he is. Hey, Rob. You made it. Oh, there he is. Come on. Boom. There we go. Yeah. O'Hare is a slog right now because it's like I don't know if prices have gone down or not.
For what?
For flights to Rockford.
I imagine they're not getting any cheaper at this point.
Yeah, I'd imagine. So I've been telling people it's going to be the biggest PTC of the year. Nobody listened, and should have bought your plane tickets early. So.
It's crazy, too, because, like...
No, you should have bought your plane tickets, like...
Last year.
No, like 2 or 3 weeks ago or something. Like, it did dip to, like, what I've seen it at before for, like, a week.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, I mean, they're definitely higher because of that music festival.
Yep. And then I booked my house a year in advance, so, you know.
My initial plan was just to drive.
Yeah.
Even though I do live further away now. But, like, I feel like I should not be an idiot and just, like, drive to Omaha and then carpool with, like, JJ and Mark.
Yeah, that's probably, that probably will be the best, yeah.
But, like, I feel like I should only do that if you have enough, like, car seats. Because when I traveled with UFSU to Vegas PTC, and we stayed with Tim, that was something we didn't even consider, is that Tim didn't have enough spaces in his car to fit all this, so I sat in the trunk.
Well, it shouldn't be an issue because a few guys, like Rob and Scott, will have a car. I'm sure Fam's going to have his own car, but he's staying at Trent's, but he can always just swing by here and grab someone who needs a ride, so it's not a big deal.
Thomas might have a car.
Thomas will have his car, so we'll be fine. We'll be fine.
Yeah, so as long as that's fine, because then all I need to worry about is JJ and Mark dropping me off.
Yeah,
that's fine. Then I have to coordinate like when they're going to be leaving, because like I only requested work off from Friday to Monday.
Oh, that's the perfect amount of time.
Right, but the thing is like, if they're leaving like Thursday night.
Oh, yeah, I got you. So you'd have to shoot up there after work or something like that. So, yeah,
but I haven't asked them yet, so it's not a big deal.
Okay. Yeah, I know that a lot of people are coming in Friday morning to early afternoon. I know the Maryland guys will be here early. Kevin and Jesse, I think, are showing up like at 8 or 9 in the morning in Chicago, is from what I've been told. So like my house will probably by noon should be full of people and smoked meats, because I'm going to be smoking wings and a pork butt for the house for people staying.
I was telling Katie about it too. I was like, I think this is the first UFS event I've ever traveled for that I'm like chilling with the adults, basically. Because like I've either been with people like my own age, or like JJ and Mason who are like younger than me, right?
Yeah.
This will be the first time where I'm the baby, and so I already told Katie, I was like, I guarantee someone is going. Probably Thomas Gordon is going to be saying something like, "Are you good old enough to drink?"
I don't think he cares.
No,
he might say that.
Yeah, he may say that, but I got it sleeved, Rob. It's sleeved.
I heard you shuffling it.
It's sleeved. It's ready to go.
Is it Titans?
Yeah, it's Titans. Yeah, I'll have to sleeve the route. I'll probably end up just bringing 2 decks on Wednesday, so I'll probably have someone play Avengers or something like that. It seems like a fun matchup, so I don't know who really wins that one, but whatever. So
yeah, I don't know what the Sentinel deck ended up being.
It was it did the normal stuff to Nimrod, then Bastion, Magneto, then Apocalypse. Is the curve?
No, I meant like plot twist wise.
Oh, all it's missing is beatdowns, and I have that. But yeah, I can send you the list.
I mean, is it running like the
Reconstruction program?
Total Anarchy?
Yes, it is. Yeah, okay. It's running Anarchy. Yeah.
How expensive is that game?
I don't know. Like I bought. It just depends on depends on your decks actually, because some decks are really cheap and some decks are actually kind of expensive.
There's a lot of cards that are like reasonably cheap if you can find them, and the cards that you can't find are probably like insanely expensive.
Yeah.
What's the most expensive deck or card?
I mean, the most expensive deck is probably still going to be like the JLA stuff out of DC Legends, and I mean, I don't know what it's going to be now, just because like
you have to find the cards.
Like,
first.
Well, right, it's more just like the market is like super weird because most of like the single sites have stopped carrying it.
Yeah.
But you know, long after the game died, I mean, that deck was still something where if you wanted to track stuff down, it was going to be over $1,000.
Holy shit!
Is that the straight JLA or is that Flash Green Lantern?
It's what they called Trinity. It was just
Batman, Superman,
Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
And DC Legends was basically printed to order, so it was like there wasn't enough of it at all.
I know where there's 2
And-
boxes of it.
Yeah. And like in the Legends sets, they went from traditionally the sets were basically 110 commons, 55 uncommons, and 55 rares. And then packs would be like 10 commons, 3 uncommons, like a foil and a rare. And if the foil was rare, then either you'd get like an extra common or you might get a second rare. It kind of depended on the set. And basically what ended up happening with the Legend sets is they doubled the number of rares. So it was 110 commons, 55 uncommons, and 110 rares.
It was totally lame. They did that for every Legend set, right? Because of
the Marvel Legends and DC Legends, yes.
Yeah.
And then for Marvel Universe, they doubled everything.
Yeah.
So it was a 330 card set. There was 110 of commons, uncommons, and rares. And then
incredibly hard to get those rares.
Basically, yeah. Like getting play sets of stuff was tough.
And it was made to order.
That should work.
And it was also the last DC set, so it's just like it's a combination of the cards are pretty good, they're hard to get, the characters are popular, so like even sort of like collectors want them. Like they have like a lot of like sort of like casual appeal in addition to being like fairly strong. So I mean,
I guess I was asking because I didn't know if the game was like what UFS looked like even like 2 years ago.
I don't think it was ever like that. I mean, even in like the heyday and stuff. I mean, the stuff like Savage Beatdown and like Enemy on My Enemy and stuff like that, like Mobilize. Those were easily like $50+ cards.
Now you can buy a set of Enemy for like $25 and off of Hill's Wholesale, and you can buy a set of Beatdowns for $20 from Hill's Wholesale too. But like that's
because they got reprinted in like the archive collection.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I don't know. I mean, I feel like most of those cards are still going to be, if you were going off like a single site.
Oh yeah, they're still expensive.
Probably still be like 10 to 15.
Yeah.
The
game's
right, and if
fun,
you want like EA enemies are probably still $50+.
Oh, the Beatdowns are probably worth what, a couple $100?
The Beatdowns were like, I generally saw them at like 150 to 200 a piece.
Okay, so do you know we know what we're talking about when we say EA extended art? So like it's like it'd be your your champ card. It would have your entire art, and the text box would be smushed down.
I mean, basically, Magic does it.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, Pokemon does it too, dude.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. So
yeah, just promos where they like stretch the art box and cram the text box.
I was really hoping that you guys would have thrown me an EA Titans Go, but I guess that's asking for too much. So, if you guys had them.
You could ask Scott. I mean, we had gallery packs, so we probably have them.
Yeah. Okay, well, we got 6 people watching. I don't know if we want to start the show.
Are we on?
Well, we've been streaming for 15 minutes, yeah.
What a dick.
Well, yeah, he was on before you got in here.
But... Well, yeah, we gotta let people
kind of like.
We gotta let people
care about like old versus talk at all.
Yeah, cool.
I was just interested in the market of the game because I sell cards, but
yeah, like I'm half tempted to do a versus segment for the channel just because the game is the best card game I've ever played. So.
And you don't have to change hosts.
Yep, I don't have to change hosts whatsoever.
I might even be more enthusiastic.
All right, so welcome to the Guile Treatment second live stream in like 4 days, 3 days. We've done 3 live streams in 3 days, which is nuts for us. So we're kind of shooting the curve. We're going above and beyond for you guys out there. Today we're gonna be what? Huh?
Don't get used to it.
There will be no recorded episode this week because we're doing this. So no recorded episode this week. But there will be tons of Versus Series content coming out for you UFS fans.
You have a ton of stuff recorded, don't you? You have a pretty big backlog.
I have stuff going into like late July already.
Wow.
For UFS, and then for Retro we have like about the middle of July. So that's only like twice a week. So yeah.
This is zero shade. I wish when we were at UFSU we had that plan. It was definitely week by week.
Yeah. We kind of stopped doing the staging area stuff just because we just rather play than record. So, but it's just
I think
easy.
honestly, I think more people would rather see you play.
Yeah.
Than that.
Then talk, yeah, exactly. Because we have the talk show here anyways. We don't need double talk show and whatever. I'd rather just show more games. And then this weekend we did I guess we're kind of going into some news and stuff like that. But we did the overhead for the stream. Got positive results. A lot of people said it was good. I have to change the depth that it's at because I think it's a little too close to the table. So I need to raise it some, which is not that big of an issue. And then Trent's going to help me 3D print an actual attachment instead of using... right now, it's held... The horizontal bar is held to my tripod by a 1-inch hexagonal coupling bolt. And I don't know... It doesn't look that safe, so I'm going to...
Is it just like a giant PVC pipe?
Yes, it is. I sent you the picture, right?
I know. I was just like...
Yeah.
You were talking about a kit. It just looks like a PVC
Yeah, it's a PVC pipe. Yeah, exactly. But I think
like
I'm gonna.
You could make it Home Depot.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I did. I go into Home Depot and I got the stuff and I made it. I'm very proud of myself.
So you just got instructions.
Yeah, I got it off of YouTube or whatever. But so yeah, we got that. I talked to Jason on Friday or Thursday about UFS things. He gave me an update since we have the PTC on the proposed pre-release weekend for the Yu Yu Hakusho. I asked him, is it going to come out on time? So he was very, very frank with me. He's like, it's a 50-50 shot. They have approvals this week, and they've never dealt with this company for approvals. So if approvals go good, we are getting... I know, they're going right to print. The latest date it can go to print and be on time is July 1st. So we will find out Monday, July...
next Monday?
It will be next Monday, yes. So if we will find out next Monday if the set will be on time.
Well, because the thing is, obviously I don't know how far in these approvals go, but if it's something as simple as just change the name real quick of one or few cards.
Yeah, it could be super easy. He said the only thing he's worried about is if they don't like they may say, well, we don't like that shot. Use a different shot, like they did with Bebop, where they had to move it 3 seconds forward into the show to get the correct shot for it instead of, but it's an old 90s show, so maybe they won't matter too much.
It's one of those things too, but because it's an old 90s show, a lot of the skill or power animations, right? Yeah. They're they last a few frames. Yeah. And so it's you may have picked this one, but they want a different one.
Yeah, exactly. He also told me player kits are coming back. They are now permanent. It's going to be for every set going forward, he told me. Okay. So that's awesome. I loved that. I hope that holds true even for the bigger sets.
Uh,
As far as I know, it will. And it may cost more because you're going to get a turbo set. So, a turbo deck or whatever.
Specifically, if the even without a turbo deck.
Oh,
if this is larger.
Sure. I got you.
Obviously, it's weird because they usually are large because of the turbo sets. But
to get people to come out to the pre-releases, instead of chibi characters, we are getting 90s variant foil all art cards.
Was it just okay?
Dude,
wait, like baseball vinyl crap?
No, I mean it's gonna be like those chromium covers we had in the 90s, man. It's gonna be so sick.
Gosh.
I am so excited.
That crap for Yu-Gi-Oh stuff when I was a little kid. This is crazy.
Oh, dude, it's gonna be great. So that will be the chibi characters. The alternate art will be those 90 variant foils. All I think of is the scene in the Mallrats where Shannon Doherty's yelling at Jason Lee about different covers and chromium covers, and I'm just like, yes, I'm sold. He did let me know that a second Yu Yu Hakusho set is in the works. It is Dark Tournament. It will have a turbo set. It will be a bigger set, and then the second Soul Calibur set will also be a bigger set, he said.
Is there going to be a second Street Fighter set?
That I don't know. He did not. I did not ask that.
We already got it.
But yeah, so that's some news. He kind of asked me. So first he goes, "Well, I heard you didn't." I talked to him about the PTC promos, and he kind of brought up, "Oh, I heard you didn't like yours." I'm like, "Yeah, but I really wanted it to be this instead." And he's like, "Oh, that would have been a really good idea because I want to wait a memory for my card." And he's like, "That would have been really cool, but we're gonna go with cards that are currently in standard just to make it a little easier for people." But I'm just like, whatever, man, it's cool. I'm over it.
I think because you gave him that idea though, I definitely could see it being a new like Premier Store promo, like what they did with the action card for what's her name, whatever.
Oh yeah, for Miska, and all that stuff.
That's the worst part is they brought back like a different Gabrick card. Yeah, and it's just like, oh, bring back Weight of Memory.
Bring back Weight of Memory, man, because it'd be so good right now. It'd be fantastic.
Earth needs more help, Dan.
I think I want to say that may be it for pre-register for the Rockford PTC. Call me, text me. Don't sext me.
Call the store.
You can call the store too. It's easier to let me know, and then I just message to the girl who works at the store because we just have like the system going. We have 59 people already. We need 65 for a 7th mythical round and top 16. Which
need is a strong term.
I guess need is a strong
term.
But,
Rob here does not want a lot of people here.
We already have a lot of people.
I distinctly remember this conversation of like, man, I have to go to a PTC and try now, whereas before I could just show up and win. Because of all these new people, just pick up these buff ass bebop decks and win the whole thing.
So JJ's already messaged me. He's like, hey man, I need a pre-order. It's like, man, I had you a long time ago. Don't worry about it. And then he's like, I'm winning it. My deck is more crazier than his maxi deck. I'm like, nah, I don't think
already know what that deck does. It's crazy.
Oh, of course, it's a JJ deck. All his decks are just insane. So you know.
Well, I was just with him in Texas, obviously. When we did the other one, but this deck's crazy, man. Like it takes a meme and it makes it super real, and it's so scary.
Nice. That sounds like his deck. So
and like that's the one that I think he's playing.
Yeah.
Other one that he could be playing is also really crazy, but I think it's my first idea. I'm not gonna spoil it.
That's fine. No, I wasn't trying to dig for tech or anything. I was just saying that he was just really excited, and he's like, "I'm winning this thing." So
regardless if he wins, more cards are getting banned. Like cards are already getting banned. Like I already know. So
fair enough. Barry Everson, they will not bring back Cunning and Prideful. I've already been told this because it's. It's the Ash 1/5 where you flip it and you pick up a face down out of your card pool.
Yeah.
It's a 1/5 spam that you get to pick up face. Yeah, nah, it's not coming back. Sorry, dude.
That's supposed to see with all these characters and cards that put face downs in your card pool.
It's also King of Fighters, so they probably can't.
Yeah. Well, Cunning and Prideful is pretty a generic term, so you could.
What are the symbols on the card?
Evil, Air, and Death. It's Ash 2 or 3. It was whatever second Ash and Neomax was. So.
That card with Akuma 2 dots.
Yes, that's why.
Foundation is already busted.
Yeah, that's why.
I'm gonna pick this attack back up.
Yeah, that's I think that's why personally that's why they'll never bring him back because Akuma's stupid. So we're not here. Should we just move right into your stuff?
Yeah, Garrett Brett 5 dot. That's a really cool.
Hey man, if we want to talk about Garrett Brett 5 first, we can. But do we want to talk about you first? We should talk about you. You should. I've been saying you want to pop off about this.
I mean, I don't know. I think my character's cool. I made it the way that I wanted it to. I don't think it's crazy or anything.
All right, so I'm gonna transition over so people can see it, and then if you want to read off your character, go ahead and do that. So
sure, I have the stream up, so I'm gonna wait till it pops up.
There. Oh, there's a 20-second delay, so whatever you say now is just gonna go in, so you're good.
Oh, okay. All right. So I'll just read it all and then I'll go back. Okay, so 6 life, 28 vitality, Mega Man 2 dot, just so you know. First enhance, so no cost. Choose one attack in your opponent's card pool, period. If your attack was played as a reversal, discard it and play the top card of your deck face down as a copy of the chosen attack with a resource symbol of your choice. No check necessary. And I have a response. Once per turn, destroy a foundation, after a keyword ability is played, cancel its effects. Death Order Water, which are prepare to fight symbols, which is pretty obvious that my character art is also based off of prepare to fight.
Mm-hmm. So, and he's the only guy to have flavor text.
Oh yeah, I have my flavor text. I added Rookie of the Year 2018. I've been informed I'm the only one with flavor text, which might be a little conceited, but whatever.
Mike's was too long, so he couldn't fit it. So that's why.
Everyone else just put on too much card text, man.
They just use the entire even though you do have a lot of text in your box.
I do. I had another effect I really wanted, but it was very long. I couldn't have both. Obviously, if you can see it, the 2016 U.S. National Champion is obviously wrong. This was the second to last final draft that FAM sent me. it's going to be changed to 2018, and then also the second effect, destroy a foundation : after, they're going to put a space between there just so it looks nicer.
Okay.
So, but this is pretty much it. This is the character. This is the art. That is how you spell my name because they messed it up the first time.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know what I would have done.
Did they do what I did and only one R or one T, like on the back of the T-shirt?
It was one R.
It was one R. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I guess so.
They've probably been trained on spelling Garrett's name
so
for so many years.
Yeah.
Like 1 R, 2 T's.
1 R, 2 T's, boy. Yeah.
So I guess piece by piece of the card, why I liked it. 628 because I wanted strong abilities, and I was informed basically that if you wanted to be a 7-hander, you don't get as strong as abilities because that you get the extra card.
Yeah.
So I decided to, with that mentality of like, I'm going to be a 6-hander with a really niche thing. And so my niche thing is reversals and keyword denial, basically. 28 vitality, just again, I like Mega Man, and 28 vitality is now fair for 6-handers. It's not 29 or 30 or 31. So.
Yeah, very true. Yeah.
Jet, Selenka.
Yeah, Jet, Selenka. Yep, vicious.
According to my abilities, water is there for the reversal synergy, and death is for the keyword negation. Order is my symbol of choice of my Barrett is the order player kind of thing. Even though I played all, and people were upset that I didn't put all in my character.
Oh, I don't think that's all right.
Effect-wise, I was driving home from Nationals after winning it, and I was talking with the UFSU crew, and basically I was describing this idea of like, I want to make reversals good, because I felt that during that time reversals suck. And even nowadays, reversals kind of suck unless your character makes them crazy.
Yeah.
But like, then characters like Zhang Hua exist, and you're like, well, I'm not even playing reversals, but I just get to play anything I want. Or like Zoslamil exists. Not that he's super competitive, but like, you can just play whatever reversal you want. So like, I needed a character that could do more than just what the reversals did.
Yeah.
Without being Eligor and like cutting myself just to play a reversal for free. No offense, Luke. But so basically, I was an informal. Well, why don't you look at Crescent Moonhook? I'm like, what the fuck is that? Because I'm too new at this game, and I looked up this ultra rare attack for
Natali.
Yeah, Natali, because she did reversal stuff. And I'm like, this card is crazy. I was like, obviously, I think when it came out and when it existed, it wasn't too crazy because the card is only as powerful as the attacks of the meta. And I was like, well, what if I just put on my character? So that way, at any point where my character exists for the next 2 years, as strong as the attacks are, this character has a role.
Yeah.
Not necessarily a place in the meta, but has a role. So I found a way to make the cost worth it, and I wanted the character, when they're playing it, to be rewarded for continuously playing more reversals, because that's where I felt the most fun when I played Mega Man 2 Dot, who I thought was the last effective deck that I played reversals in. Was the more reversals you played, the better it got.
Yeah.
And that deck, it was more so because like Kian gave all my reversals stun, and then Hanya was a threat at the same time, and then Mega Man gave one of them stun too, or powerful 2 on your opponent's turn. Like, I wanted that feeling of like, what happens if I keep playing a bunch of reversals? I get rewarded for holding these attacks. And like the coolest like control-y playstyle of that is like, oh, well, your opponent might just think you're drawing dead, and then you smack it right back at them, and you're like. So in a meta now, where like cards like Coffee Samba exist, cards like Moonset, Forbidden Moonset exist, things where From Hell exist.
Yeah.
Playing a reversal and sacrificing whatever it may be for essentially giving your opponent a taste of their own medicine it's not so much about, even if you play it against at a crappy attack, but if the attack has some sort of ability where it says, if you don't block this, and there's a ton of those,
or draw a card or something like that,
draw a card or get some benefit right now.
And I mean stuff too, like what's it called, like Skull Barrier sort of getting like a bit of a stay of execution, like you know, if you don't have the momentum for it, you can just turn it into like whatever it is. Or
is the grow is the grow 3 diff a reversal, or is it a grow reversal?
I don't remember. I was gonna say the other one I know for sure is like the Jetta's like Dita.
Dita del
Oh,
Lamento,
Dita?
yeah.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
and like that was also part. So I made this character as soon as I was driving back. So like I was also under the intention of like I don't know when all these sets are going to be coming out. So even Spregio might still exist in my meta. Like
Sure.
and when I built my first playtest version of this character, like Skull Barriers, Spregios, and Dita de Lamentos, it's just incredible synergy because obviously Dita, or even things like I was even playing stuff like Laser Trident in this character because that's a response on play, and then you kill the reversal because it's a first enhance. So any responses on play of the actual reversal you get to achieve. So under order you get like Reborn Seraphatic Wing, and so you get this double whammy kind of thing. And I was experimenting with effects like that, and so I think that's one of the coolest part about this character is that this character becomes as strong as the reversals in the game do, but it doesn't use them as a crutch to where you're just playing a deck filled with crappy reversals.
Yeah.
Because that's how I felt when I was building these decks that were synergized on reversals. I'm playing a deck that has a bunch of crappy attacks on my own turn. And so instead of inherently buffing reversals, so like let's say like Jetta 1-dot, for example, where like you get to pick one back up on your turn. This character makes them more effective on your opponent's turn, and you now get this duality and choice to turn them into something even better. And it's the mind games of just like, if your opponent doesn't open with their really strong 5 diff, they have to play it at a higher difficulty later on the chain because they know they don't want me to copy it.
Unless they're
like
Tim Keefe, then he doesn't care.
Yeah, you're right. Obviously, the effect has gone through some changes.
Sure.
The initial part of the effect was not discard the reversal; it was flip it, because that's what Crescent Moonhook did. The only reason why they told me that effect changed was because of the new wording on the LGR. I don't know how accurate this is. I'm not an LGR guru, but the current wordings of LGR and like attack abortions that they've recently changed and stuff like that, flipping an attack to abort it creates a really icky window.
Oh, sure.
Whereas discarding an attack, creating a new one is better.
Sure. It's less gummy. Yeah, I understand.
And so, and like it helps too that this new wording has the word play. And so now things that have to do with when your opponent plays an attack can be used. So like let's say my opponent has a Skull Barrier in their card pool, and I'm copying something else. They can either respond to Skull Barrier on my initial reversal or when I use my first enhance. So like it's still kind of mind gaming of like, if you don't use it on the reversal, I'm obviously not going to use my effect because you're going to kick the effect. That's why I wanted to keep it as a first enhance. That way also, I don't want to be busted, and I don't think the effect is busted, but it's an enhance, so it is countered by cards that cancel character enhances, things like revoke. It is a first enhance, and so you do have to show your opponent. They're like, okay, we're skipping this attack, we're moving on to something else.
Yeah.
Your opponent you get to read my character card. You know what it does. If you slam strong attacks and I have reversals,
you're gonna get
you have
punished.
to deal with them.
Yeah.
And for that reason, when I got a lot of input, because I was asking for a lot of help when I was making the character card from seasoned pros, because obviously I've never done this before, I learned very quickly, and I designed a very reactive-based character. And reactive-based characters historically don't do well. And so I already knew that going in. I mean, just my whole second effect is reactive-based. When your opponent uses a stun ability, multiple, whatever, you can cancel it. It's demanding submission, but any foundation instead of itself and doesn't burn.
Right.
The cool thing is that I kind of get to keep this mentality on the character of like, I'm the reversal king, because the keyword ability, the only real one you're going to cancel on your own turn is an opponent's reversal.
Yeah.
And it works. So that's kind of cool, where it's like, I'm going to play reversals and you don't get to. But at the same time, it's that synergy of the idea that I had, which is with all these really strong attacks in the game going around, this is a character that specifically is meant to counter the strong generic attacks in the game.
Yeah.
Things like Missile Launcher.
Yeah.
You can't stun me. I'm going to block it and do it to you. Coffee Samba. You can't stun me or multiple me, whichever one I choose, and I'm going to throw it at you. Like these kind of attacks.
And not have to
from
play
hell,
a one check. That's pretty sick.
Yeah. You're from Hells. I'm going to cancel your EX. I'm going to play it against you, and I get to use the EX.
Yeah.
Like, it's things like that. Or, like, Forbidden Moonset. Like, all these generic attacks. You can't powerful me, and I'm gonna throw it at you. Like,
Mhm.
and so like as I see these new cards come out, and like obviously the difficulty with the character is because it's reactive based. On your own turn when you're attacking, you have to have generically strong attacks as well, and
Mhm.
reversals aren't that, at least
Right.
right now. And so you do have to find this really good like synergy with the deck. And I was already kind of doing that with Donovan too, and now I get to have fun and do it at my own character. So
You still get
that's
you do have 2 moonset symbols, so you're okay.
I do.
You're
I have two
okay.
moveset symbols. And like the cool thing, my response was, as I've shown people before, it used to be twice per turn. And I don't think Jason liked the idea that I shared symbols with demanding submission under death, so I could cancel whatever I wanted, basically.
Mhm.
And I don't think he liked the idea of having that twice per turn and having order and having access to like securing his destiny.
Yeah.
So like I was like non-keywords, keywords, non-keywords, keywords. Like, and I don't think he liked that a lot. So he cut it down to 1, and I thought that was a fair nerf. That was really the only
Yeah.
nerf I got though. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. No, I like him. I think he's cool. I think that I like
The
I
one
like
thing
oh,
I'll
go
say,
ahead. Go ahead.
and I learned this like when I had started back up, because we played a little bit with Crescent Moonhawk when it unrotated, is if you copy something with multiple and you play the multiple E, all of the multiple copies are 0/0s. So
Mhm.
because your attack is face down, so it's like multiple copies the printed stats.
Yeah.
And so the printed stats of your face down attack are going to be 0 and 0. So
I wanted it to be intuitive with the face down, just as Ash 2 was. Are you sorry? Is that right?
I think it was 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And like, so what that means is all the current rulings that exist for Ash 2 will still exist with this character.
Right.
Because they become
But, I mean, there's plenty of people who didn't play Ash.
Right. But the idea is all like you need to know the rule. If you want to play this character, you need to know what the ruling of copies of attacks is, and that means, what I wanted it to be this way was, when the attack is done and you don't deal with it, I do get that momentum at the end of the turn from the top of my deck, because that's what Ash 2 got to do.
Yep.
Because they do remain attacks for the same reason why if you multiple it, it's nothing. So. I wanted to make sure that like if you were stacking off the reversal, you still got the momentum and it paid off for itself.
Yeah.
I think the character is really cool with like Journey West and stuff like that because it's just the extra punishment. But like I don't know, that card's kind of
Yeah.
it's a low block to me nowadays.
Yeah.
And like I said, as strong as the reversals in the game go, and I have Death and I have Water, which have been notoriously the strongest reversal symbols in the game.
Yeah, I mean,
I think it'll be okay. Yeah, obviously, I think Death is my strongest symbol out of all the decks that I built.
Sure.
Just because of board control, so your opponent can't deal with what your actual character does. And then I love Withering Toxin now. My character has Death, and Withering Toxin has Death. That's a reversal, and that's exactly what I was kind of talking about with like. My character becomes as strong as the reversals in the game are, and Withering Toxin is an attack that you're okay slamming on your own turn, not just as a reversal.
Yep.
So I really like it in my own character.
No, I've learned to like. I thought Withering Toxin was really good, and then I got to play against it this weekend. Withering Toxin kind of a beating sometimes. It just depends on how well they attack it. Throw stuff into your card pool, or like against a Cassie or whatever. So we had Anonymous say that you're a pretty sick sandbag character, like as a sideboard character.
Yep. So I told Jason because he called me a lot right after I won nationals, and I actually got to like talk to him and get to know him, and like he asked me a lot of my opinions, and I know he does that with a lot of people, but it was really nice. And the coolest thing that he asked me, he's like, when you're making your champ card, you want to have the idea of what you want it to be and where do you want it to fit in the meta. And that's when he kind of told me, he was all like, we don't want you winning other champ cards with your champ card. And so you need to have this middle ground, but like idea of what you want your character to do. And I directly told him, I was like, listen, I don't care if people mainboard my character, but I would love my character to be an incredible sideboard choice in like Jetta 2 dot. Because that deck's already filled with reversals. And if you're just playing it like you lose game 1 or win game 1 or something, and in game 2 you're just like, my opponent's playing these crazy ass attacks, let me just beat his butt because I share 2 symbols with Jeddah. Like,
Yeah.
you get to use all of his synergy
Mhm.
and all the reversal extra stuff that he has, and he just works. Now I have face down card synergy as well, and now that obviously I made this character in its symbols before Grow existed,
Oh,
but
yeah.
as soon as I saw Grow, I was like, "Oh, someone shares all
You
three
get some
symbols
you
with
get some
me."
Akuma face down stuff too. It's not a whole
Mhm.
lot, but off of order you get some of Akuma stuff.
Right, and so like there are other synergies just within the resource symbols itself, which I
Mhm.
think is always good for the game and just like continuing on the flow.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, it was definitely I want my character to be a tech option, not necessarily something you start the meta. Like I'm gonna go to this tournament playing Barrett, and it's because his character's busted. Um, it's I think I have a distinct place as strong as I'll keep saying it, as strong as the basic
Yeah.
generic meta attacks are,
Mhm.
the better my character gets. But that doesn't mean that this character has obvious flaws. If you play against someone like Akuma 2 dot, copying your Akuma's attacks don't do much because Akuma's attacks don't do anything. Akuma makes them cool,
Yeah.
and you ignoring face downs is a whole waste of a static. And if you copy his ultra rare, you can't do anything because you can't flip that card over.
Yeah, true.
So, like if you play against Zhenghua, like you don't want to copy a bunch of these weak ass 3 base damage attacks you can't do anything with. So like there's obvious counters, and this character's not meant to be just throw around and test yourself with it. But characters that play strong stuff has a place.
Yeah. I actually think.
Yeah, I mean, honestly,
Go ahead,
like,
Rob.
I think the R is pretty, like, that seems like one of the most relevant things to me.
Mhm.
Of just, really like vicing down on some of the like big keywords that are going on.
Yep.
And I think that's the kind of thing that'll let you kind of like stretch games out a little bit and like, just kind of play a little more defensive and just kind of string it along so that, you sort of get in positions where you can use your other ability more.
Yeah, it definitely is. Like it's just I think since I played Mega Man 2, I'd always I think Chris is definitely I was like I want more keyword hate in the game. And it just sucks because I feel like demanding submission is the only one. And obviously it's not. There are other ones, things like the new Gauge one.
I'm sorry.
Or like,
did you see what Tim posted in chat? He went something about Queen of Hearts, and then he goes, "Rip, no void."
yeah. And so, like, it was just stuff of like, I don't know what I was saying. Oh, there is keyword hate, but it's so specific
Tim's
keyword hate.
characters.
And I know that's healthier for the game. Like things like sense of morals, like I'm really good about select or committal.
Sense of morals is not healthier than like anything that's
No, but I was saying like it only targets one specific thing. It targets your cards being committed by your opponent's effects, which are only in 2 things: selective committal and stun. And so when you want to play a card like demanding submission, you have this free reign over things that are denoted as keyword abilities, like Gauge, which is a brand new one, but you don't have access to the abilities that say like commit your button stuff. And so like it has this even ground. I wanted order because it got to play the non-keyword interactive stuff as well, and it's my favorite symbol. So
should we move on to Garrett? Do you want to move on?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. I have to find Tim's cards because I totally forgot Tim had cards. He revealed cards too. Someone read Garrett off while I'm finding Tim's cards.
Don't worry, Tim. No, Withering Toxin. As soon as I saw Withering Toxin, I was like, "This is my favorite card in the whole set." I'm getting 4 of this just so I can play to my character. That's all I thought. But not that many people are playing that card. I don't understand.
It's reversal.
Is Garrett even pulled up?
Yeah, Garrett is pulled up.
Oh, I can pull up Garrett.
I can read him off. I have him right here. He's a 528.
5.
5. A 528. He's a 5.
Yeah, 5.
Quote. All in good. Yay for 2 symbols. He has in response R. After you play your first card this turn, add the top card of your deck to your hand. If your opponent has more cards in their staging area than you may add 1 asset or foundation from your hand to your staging area. E-commit, your attack gets +2 speed or +1 damage for every 10 cards in your opponent's discard pile. If it is blocked, ready your character. I think he's pretty good. He can also the R also states that it doesn't have to be normally played, so he can drop down off some.
That's just the theme. That's the theme of this chip match, right?
Yeah.
So much text they left off, like the legalese sort of stuff, like like this, can end your turn, can normally play, and they just left that off a whole lot of stuff. I mean, this card's pretty nutty. It's a lot like his first character, or maybe not a lot, but it definitely has shades of his first character of like getting to build like free foundations like on your opponent's turn. Because this thing is his R works, on like the first card he plays on his turn and the first card you play on your opponent's turn as well, as long as you're still ready. His E harkens back to like the Elizabeth cards.
Mourning the Lost.
One, huh?
It's called Mourning the Lost.
No, she had two.
Did
she
she
also
have
had one
another
that gave speed for every 10.
Oh, no way, really? Oh, I never played that card. The card was bad.
It only gave 1 speed for every 10. It wasn't good. This gives 2 for every 10. And then Mourning the Lost gave 1 damage for every 5. This gives 1 for every 10. So basically, like, the speed one is twice as good, and the damage one is half as good. Sort of an interesting thing that, if you want him to not pump every attack, you just need to eat one. Is that if you're blocking, like, he can keep doing it. Like, that's a pretty sort of interesting, I guess, sort of like balance on it, of just sort of like, okay, well, if you keep blocking, like, it's going to keep happening. And the R though, like, that's, to me, it's a lot like, the Tim Keefe 2-dot with his like check bonus, is that it allows you to sort of play a rather unusual sort of foundation base.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like for Garrett, I mean, just run like a ton of like 3-diff foundations, because you can like play one, and then when you play it, you can like respond, especially like going second. It's like you play it, you draw your card, you respond by like free building like a different 3-diff foundation, and then you have a foundation and your character to like commit to make more stuff,
the higher diff stuff.
Yeah. And if you end up like less than where they're at, then like on your first block, like you can free build in like another one, because the build is like stuff that's, if you have like less cards in your staging area than them, it also very much enables you to play some of these like really, really strong cards that like either destroy or remove, because you're rewarded for having less cards in your staging area than they are. So like you almost want to kind of like be around where they are, and like, so, if they're playing some like attack, like you don't feel as bad like blowing up these foundations that like normally would leave you down, because then after you block, like you get that free build to like come back up.
It definitely reminds me a lot of just because he's here, Tim Keefe's Salinka deck that he played, where all the foundations were high difficulty foundations, 2 and ups basically, right? Or they were basically all 2s, but it's that same idea with this character of like, it doesn't matter that they're all high difficulty, because we get to put one down for free. Obviously, Salinka does it face down and has to play attacks or enhances to do it, whereas this, he can do it just by playing a foundation and getting a free one. It is definitely one of those things where it's like, this character makes up the difference for going second.
Yeah. Definitely.
Very much like the Elena kind of idea. I was like, I'm going to be able to pass stuff, but this guy gets to play whatever he wants as long as it's in your hand. And that's where the selective 5-hand size thing comes from. Is all like, you have to find those cards, and at the beginning of every turn, you do only draw 5 cards. So
it's like it's harder to sort of like sculpt something like. Even with this sort of draw, like you're a little more reliant on, okay, like, I think I'm there, but like I don't know what I'm gonna get, like when I start drawing cards. So, yeah, I mean, even like the 5-handers that like draw a bunch of extra, even like someone like Guile. Yeah. I mean, yeah, he can draw up to 4 cards like in the span of your turn and their turn, but like he's still kind of, it's like he's still kind of a 5-hander, because like, you know, if you really want a handful of attacks, like, you know, drawing, like, you still only start with the 5 in your hand. So, like, unless you have a way to, like, stack your deck and, like, draw, you know, it's like, for him, I guess it's after they play cards. So you almost have to, like, stack it and then make it something that they really want to block.
Yeah, and that was my biggest problem when I played Guile, because I thought I was really going to like him. This is Guile's based off of your opponent's reactions. This character is the proactive one.
Yeah.
I get to do it when I play a card. It's not twice per turn, but it is still on both turns, and I get to choose. And the benefit for it, the not just drawing the card, but playing a free foundation if you are behind on your opponent's staging area.
Yep.
At the same time, though, like, that is, like, pretty taxing, like, on your hand. I mean, you know, if you're just thinking, like, oh, I'm going to, like, I guess you draw the card, but then you might get rid of, like, something right away to just build it. So there's definitely still going to be, like, some hand management. I don't know. I think he's pretty good. I think his, like, the stats he gives, like, aren't great, but, I mean, you know, they'll be pretty good when he's just, like, putting, like, +4 on stuff.
Yeah.
And, you know, unless you want to just eat something.
Yeah.
It's a very Garrett character.
That's what Tim said in chat. This is such a Garrett card.
Yeah. A non-emis did bring it up in chat. Obviously, the wording why he chose why instead of draw, it was to avoid Chinook or Chinook.
Yeah.
Which I thought was very smart. Obviously, he's thinking ahead.
Yeah, I know. Like, I saw it, and that was my first response. I was like, "Why does it say add?" And I was like, "Oh, because of Chinook."
Yeah.
Like,
and so it's also just things like having that kind of like idea to check for that wording is really important, and it obviously needs to be a very smart player to put it in there. Because I would have forgotten that. Yep. I would just say draw a card.
He did say if he does have copies, he will be at the Rockford PTC passing them out. Bets on if he's going to play his own guy. Think he's going to play him?
I would assume so.
I think I've decided I'm not playing my character at Rockford, but I will bring a deck. I will bring a death deck.
Sweet. We'll get that on the channel. We'll record it.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, come on. Okay. So we move on to Kevin Broberg too then?
We have Kevin?
We got Kevin too, yeah.
No.
All right. So Kevin Broberg too. He's a 7/19 evil good void. Arcommit, after your opponent makes a check, it gets -X. X equals the number of assets in your staging area. Failing this check does not end the combat phase.
Oh, he needed another ability, dude.
Yes, he did. So could end combat phases.
You know what? No, he needed flavor text.
Oh, there you go.
Maybe like, all right, fine. We'll just leave off that can end their
turn. First F, add a card from your hand to your staging area face down. If you have 2 or more assets, add the top 2 cards of your deck to your staging area face down instead. So basically, that's Sai and then Tamayose combined in a way with a caveat, right? Because Sai was the same thing.
The coolest thing about this effect is add a card from your hand to your staging area face down. If you don't have any cards, you don't have to do it, but you still get to build. Obviously, it's not good because you don't have any cards in your hand.
Well, yeah, but true. But it's first F though, so you're obviously gonna have cards in your hand.
We can get rid of cards.
I guess so. Whatever.
No, I'm kidding. No, you can't.
Obviously, he has some Athena and some Vega and some, just his old Athena deck is basically his first F. Just Tamayose go to town. So, especially with all the new powerful assets coming out, man. Oof.
I'm a little upset that he doesn't have Spike 1-dot synergy.
Oh, for face downs? Yeah, yeah, true.
Because Swimming Bird would be really good in this character.
I gotta say though, it's pretty good. I guess he's high sand size, so it doesn't really matter. I'm waiting for the deck that's running the UK asset, like Judgment Day.
Oh yeah.
And Swordfish 2, because that is just brutal. The 5-hand life character that's just like, what's up every turn? How's it going? Or I guess death too, right?
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah, death
for your for your all your death Zoslamel decks. There you go.
Yeah,
that's free.
Judgment.
Have fun.
Yeah, I like this character a lot. It's good. I was really upset when Dave Wagner's character rotated, because it was just now we have all these cool assets and nobody wants to play a bunch of them. It's usually 1 or 2 or the really strong ones, right? But now here's a character that's you get free foundations if you play enough assets.
Yeah, it's sort of interesting. I mean, Soul Calibur definitely was like sort of a needed infusion in like the asset game, I would say, because really like Bebop, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter vs. Darkstalkers, like all that stuff, like the assets were all just like terrains.
Yeah.
And like his whole thing is having like multiple assets out. So like terrains is like
didn't someone
maybe
check on
run
that?
like
Didn't someone check on that in the Discord? It's like 13 of like the assets.
Yeah, it was me.
Yeah. How many was it? It was what, like 13
I
or
don't
something
remember
like
off
that?
the top of my head. It was a lot. It's not quite half.
Yeah.
But for his 3 symbols, I think it's somewhere around like 30 or 40% of the assets are terrains.
Mm-hmm.
So you're probably just gonna pick like 1 or 2, and hope that you don't like. I mean, I guess you can just build it face down if like.
You just play White House because we get to stay a 7-hander.
Well, sure.
Yeah.
I mean, you can run White House, but I don't know. I mean, he might like some actions. I don't know.
President Broberg,
on good, run that cut loose, maybe.
Well, the cool thing too is like, it's so interesting because you know that he has no info, or like he doesn't have a ton of information of all the other assets that come out with the batch, right?
Yeah.
But he already built the character with the idea of other cards existing or future ones coming out. But like you look at him, you're like, all right, you share 2 symbols with the United Kingdom of Smash. Would let you draw another card on your opponent's turn after you get rid of one.
That's probably the biggest one. Well, and it lets him pick up face downs.
Yeah, it lets him pick up face downs.
Yeah, when he starts building stuff off the top of his deck, and he's like, "There's an attack I want."
Yeah,
and like it's like, I mean, it is the UK national champ. There might have been some coercion in there, but
no, actually, I think
just
that it was complete accidental. That's how it worked.
Right,
out.
Like that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You get Surpass Your Limits, which is the Omaha one. Under Void, you get to play. Obviously, I think he wanted Void so he could play Krityuga, because he was playing Zhenghua a lot.
I think he was sort of surprised. Like, I think he was like unsure if they were even gonna like let him have a Scorch Wheel symbol, but they did. So,
he gets to play Lion's Dance asset or whatever. Phil purchases and bins and Dave's.
Beers and something beers. It's all I know is beers. I just call it beers. It's beers.
And then so he gets to play that under Evil. So like again, more stuff, and that has to do more with like hacking your opponent's checks just from playing the card and adding it back to your hand, and so like he can replay the under desperation kind of stuff. So it's just like without even knowing, and I don't know what the other 2 do. I've been trying to figure them out, but nobody will tell me.
I haven't seen them.
What, the Vegas one?
Yeah, the Vegas assets.
I haven't heard anything either.
So like just with already including those plus whatever the future ones we get in other sets plus the current ones that already exist.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's really cool, and I'm glad we have another character that gets to use assets really in a unique way.
In a unique way, yeah.
I think like there's a couple too. I mean, Shishio is really good.
Shishio
because it like converts those like face downs into like damage, which it's kind of something you want. I don't know how much like you played against like Solinka, but there's definitely times with her where she'll just have like, basically be around like 9 or 10 foundations, and she'll have like 2 that are face up, and you're just like, I mean, you can pass some checks, but you can't do much else. It's like a very, like that's right. That's all you're doing is passing checks. And so, with sort of, and especially as a 7-hander, like, Deadlock can be kind of spooky, and so having like Shishio is sort of like a way to manage that a bit, like, is definitely valuable. But yeah, I mean, with a lot of these characters, it's always sort of about like how the card pool changes. I mean, I think they're illegal for what, 2 years?
2 years.
Yeah.
They want to do a champ badge every 2 years.
Yeah, things can definitely wind up like vastly different than they started out. So.
All right, moving on to our Lord Tonberry Master Tim Keefe.
This is probably my favorite character in the batch.
Wait, which one? Oh, Tonberry Keefe.
Tonberry
the
Keefe.
2-dot.
Yeah, the 2-dot.
The 3. There's nothing wrong with the 3-dot, but like the 2-dot is.
The 2-dot is. It's very, very, very
great.
Nice.
Garrett's pretty messed up though. I don't know.
Garrett's pretty
I like Garrett's, but I like Tim's more.
All right, so Tim Keefe 2-dot, 720 Chaos Earth Void. R, after you make a check to play a card with a higher printed difficulty than the last card in your pool, it gets +2. E, twice per turn, seal one of your opponent's foundations.
Yep.
Good. Amazing.
I think Chaos may have the 7 hand size character it's wanted for a long time. Outside of Yamato Man. But like,
why wouldn't you just play him on one of his other symbols?
I don't know, because people like Chaos. There's people out there who want to play
Chaos is hype right now, okay? I have a Chaos deck and it's really cool.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing, like, this is one of those characters that just seems like very simple. Like, it's just seal some problem foundations and then like pump your checks. But it can really sort of reward you for just like unorthodox lines. And that check boost like really allows you to play cards that other people either like can't play or sort of like struggle to play.
Is he pretty much breaker proof? Because if you play a foundation to get rid of the breaker, then you get +2 your next check.
Have the foundation.
Well,
I mean, you have a foundation, and then your next attack is probably going to be more. Expensive.
But like that's the coolest thing is like I know people are already talking about them. Under I believe every symbol except for Void, you have some sort of foundation that ignores. Yeah. And so like you have over the top under.
Void has the Indians one. Season guide.
Oh, yeah, season guide.
Right. So under every symbol, but not mixing any of them. So that's really cool.
Yeah.
You get a foundation that ignores, and so if you can literally in this deck just play all 5 diffs, and if you see cards that ignore, you just go, here's a 5 diff, play the foundation. I get +2, and it's only on a 6, and then you play another one of those ones that ignores, play another 5 diff. It's not a 7, but like you don't care. Obviously, I think the really cool thing about this character is like you open with a 4 diff, and then you can play a 5 diff, and you get it free, and then you have one of those foundations that ignores, right? Or like then you play a 3 diff, and it's on a 5, and you're like, all right, cool, now I can slam another 5 diff at the end of the chain. It immediately lets you play cards that you want to be strong at the end of the chain. Like I feel like when I look at this, I'm like, I remember Tim playing Frosthammer deep freeze stuff, and it's sort of like you want to play Frosthammer not first like at all, but it's a 5 diff, and so this character gets to play it later on as long as it's preceded by a 4 diff,
and he gets to seal 2 things,
and he gets to seal and give it 2 speed. I know
what synergy. Good job, Tim.
He's probably like the best. I struggle to think of somebody who's like a better Frosthammer character, like at least not like 7 hand size. I mean, maybe Sub-Zero, but not really. Like,
now Cole Khan's a better 6-hander for it anyway. So even though he doesn't even seal anything, he makes it a throw. So
we did have to talk about the best thing about Garrett's character.
Wait, he only has 2 symbols?
No, the Breaking Bread stuff. That I love that card, and when Rob brought it up, I loved it.
So blocking with an attack and then bringing down like a Breaking Bread and get him momentum.
Tim just said in chat his favorite part is going to be getting to run a bunch of reclaiming what's ours without worrying about having too many 3 diffs.
Yep.
That is true.
That card's crazy. I love that card. I put it in every.
Is that for his character?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing is like, we were sort of talking about it, and like, I mean, this is a character that can pretty reasonably run like a couple copies of like, whatever the Molina card is, the genetics,
superior genetics.
Yeah. Because it's like a 4 diff foundation, and it's just like, no thanks. But it's
open with a 3 diff, and it's on a 5, and you check it.
And then it's on a 5, and now it's on a 3.
Yeah.
Yep.
So if you're running like safety 3s, I mean, your opening build can basically just be a 3 diff, a 4 diff, a 1 diff, and then a 2 diff, and you pass all those on just checking 3s.
Yeah. Like, that's crazy. I love decks like that. So, Tim, I know you're here, and I haven't contacted you but I need 1 copy of each of them, because I'm also playing Gage Tim Keith. So
I was telling him, I was like, I need, like, 1 copy of the 3-dot, and probably, like, 3 copies of the 2-dot.
So that's the other thing, too, when we get to it. Like, I love that he didn't have them sharing symbols. But because Gage exists, we can do some really cool things now. So I think it's really cool. Obviously, I agree. I love it. I think this character's crazy. Tim, I think your character's crazy.
Yeah,
I'm very jealous.
his 2 dots.
Well, that's the thing too. Is like, I mean, he can run like War for Armageddon, and then like one of the biggest problems with like the Earth kind of stuff of just like I can like flip all your stuff, but like I still have problems getting to things like, you know, sense of morals and like some of these things that like don't have R's or like, you know, don't like if you're running the Caden one diff that got like reprinted that like flips things that like reduce damage.
Yeah, know your objective.
Yeah, there you go.
God damn it. Tim, I knew it all along.
But you know,
his plan is to get Hunt for Spiders and Dragons banned.
There you go. He's got Hunt too. So Hunt, he can do whatever. But like
that's what I'm saying. Like that's the goal.
that seal sort of like gets him this extra, like he can get the things that are sort of like gaps in like the other Foundation hate.
Yeah.
So
sure.
I think it's true.
But yeah, this is probably a pretty good Hunt deck, right?
Yeah. Oh
Hunt,
gosh.
You give +2 to your check. Like, all right.
Yeah.
Well, it's +2 to the check, and under that symbol, you also get the over the top. So you're talking about. So it's just like you get to weave your entire attack strain with stuff like that. That's pretty good.
Pretty good. Yeah, pretty good.
Oh, Chaos! You also have Clear Cutter.
Oh yeah, you do. Yeah.
Oh yeah! Holy shit!
I report 2 keys.
This character's busted. And like I know he's sitting in chat right now. I was like, yeah, now they're understanding. Again, I'm getting that third belt. Guys. He knows he's getting the third belt.
He's probably just like, why are they gonna play my character with Hydrofork?
All right, let's move on. Speaking of Gauge and stuff,
wait, I will say too. You're talking about the foundations. Like you're saying, for Earth has a bunch of like high difficulty stuff. And nowadays, when I feel like I'm building an Earth deck, I end up having to cut a lot of the 3 diffs. Not because I can't play them, but because there's so many to compete with. So like this is perfect for the people that are playing 4 copies of Dark Side of Karma, and playing Refusing to Let Go, or playing all these other 3 that like I totally agree, and like this character gets to get away with it. The cheeky stuff with like superior Gen X, but
it's true.
But, like,
Tim.
the thing is, like, as long as you have like you can have like 2 or 3 diffs, and like as long as you have like a 2 diff or a 1 diff like mixed in there, like you're gonna be you can play a couple of them like easily.
Yeah, Tim said that the cards in the deck still have to win somehow. I think that's like his number one thing I've ever when I talk to him about decks, he's like, your card's got to win somehow, man. You just can't rely on certain things. But,
hey, Hydrofork kills people, all right?
We're gonna move on to his 3 dot. So Tim Kip 3 dot, 627 air good life. This attack with greater speed than damage gets -3 speed or +3 damage. R, after your attack is blocked, choose 2 of your opponent's foundations. They cannot be committed to pass checks for the rest of his turn. Kind of a harken back to his 1 dot.
So -3 speed or +3 damage.
Yeah,
so
crazy.
That completely gets around overly dramatic.
I wonder if he actually planned that out.
I mean, I know like
this is the mastermind. He planned everything.
Like,
Look at his art.
When I was like cooking up something, I was like, well, let's see. I want to pump damage, and like what reduce speed? Yeah, okay. Overly dramatic, like no. So, yeah, I mean that's what like sort of another one of those E's that's just like super versatile. And it gives. I know he's sort of talked about it. Like, it's one of those ones that like can make other cards like worthwhile. I mean something like what's it called? Like Immortal Knowledge, where it's like an even card and you just give it like either +1 or -1 to like, or I guess you give it like -1 to then turn on that E. So you can like effectively give it like -3, -1, or you can give it like basically +2 damage by giving it -1. It sort of like turns your character into like base for 1 enhance.
Sure. Tim said overly dramatic dodge 1000% on purpose.
I think what you're talking about for like the incremental increases, I think are really good because you're like you just said Immortal Knowledge. Under good, you get access to like the jet ones that are like milling cards or whatever. So like there's the mill 2 for 1 speed, right? And that can be what gets you over the edge, right? And so you milled 2 cards for the top of your deck for 1/3.
Sure, sorry.
Not bad.
That's pretty good. Anyway.
But yeah, I mean. That's a big one, and well, I don't even remember like his other ability is. I just remember the pump.
It's after your attack is blocked, choose 2 of your opponent's foundations. They cannot be committed to pass checks for the rest of the turn.
Okay, so it's a callback to his
His 1 dot.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Which is the point of the weapon in the background. You know, I'm making all these references, and like I didn't play during this time, so
Yeah,
like,
it's like,
I
wow.
I don't deserve it. Somebody else bring him up because I can't.
Yeah, and obviously, you know what has higher speed than damage? Moon Ritual Dance.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, it does.
Does that wear +3 damage pretty good? And then you
That sounds
gauge 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Then
you
you
can
stack that
stack
2
the-
dot.
Oh,
Yeah.
here
Yeah.
we go.
And then you play a missile launcher on a 4. Yeah. Yeah. And then you seal something, and then you stun 2, and then you give it +4 speed, and then you give it 3 more damage. Yeah. Yeah.
Pretty good. I was
It's
gonna do
alright.
the other way. It's
Pretty good.
To start as a 7-hander, but
Yeah.
that
That's
is
pretty rough.
very good.
He
that is
also
very
said
good.
that he didn't say anything about the spear. The artist kind of put it on there on their own. So the artist put the spear in there for him.
Gotcha.
All right.
I'm sure Jasco did some words.
Could've. All right, so let's move on to our first asset. Let's go on to Blood, Sweat, and Beers. This is the Atlanta asset. It's a 2/5 +2 mid block. Chaos, Death, Evil, Ally, Unique, and Taunt, because obviously, you know,
Yeah, why not?
why not? R card pool, remove. After you block an attack, your opponent's checks get -1 for the rest of the turn. Desperation R. Add this card to your hand. After a responsibility on a non-character card is played, cancel its effects.
I like this
Was
card.
it? It's a response.
It's a
right?
response. Yeah, they're both responses on the card.
Gotcha.
Uninteractable. Card's busted.
It's broken.
I like this card a lot. I love that it has demanding. It has Bison symbol.
Yes, it does.
I like that. Chaos is getting a lot of love.
Yeah, they are getting some love in the champ card batch this time.
Yeah.
so.
I want to bring that up at the end because there's only one symbol across all of them that we haven't seen, and it's kind of weird.
Okay.
But whatever.
I mean, it's like the last batch. Like every other card had water.
Water on
It was
it.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like this one. My hacking checks is really cool. For blocking with it, and it clears itself. Like that's already just a reason to play it. Like a block that clears for -1 checks or breaker 1 for the rest of the turn, right?
Yeah.
And then the desperation are obviously synergy for characters that want to go to desperation, and it gives you an extra block. So like I think this card's crazy, and like desperation 7-handers like Vega. You want to be a desperation anyway. Get a free cancel, and I haven't ever done a block, so I can live because I'm a 7-hander. And I'm already at half vitality, right? So like I think that's really cool because the cost is to add it to your hand. Again, uninteractable, ban it.
Hey, your character.
Yeah, I mean,
your character
when I
can
first
play
saw this,
this.
I thought of Team Economy
Oh, sure.
from
Neomax. Well, Barrett can use this, block with it, remove it, and then reversal copy and attack, and then they can't really block with it. They can't block the attack
because the checks get -1.
checks -1. Yeah, there you go.
That's pretty cool. I like that. I'll put it in just because you said it.
There you go. Gotta play. You know, it's what you have to do though. You have a champ card. You gotta play all the champ cards that match your character, because then it makes your character even more powerful. People want you banned. So.
Yeah, to do that, the other champs have to like you first.
But yeah, Team Yagami had like a Desperation R of remove and canceled enhances, not responses, but same sort of idea.
The response filled cards cancels its own responses.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Busted.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. This is sort of like a card that seems like it's very niche, but I think if you're on symbol, like you know, unless you literally have no space to like really have any cards, like just get like at least one copy of this in there, like you can side it out. You know, if your opponent's like not playing responses for some reason, like you can just be like, all right, like whatever.
Did Dave say that this card used to have breaker on it, and then they changed it when they got the minus to the check on it?
I don't know.
I do know Phil was talking about in the Lizard Wolf chat about how they said their card got ninja'd real hard. So much so that it was unplayable, and so this is apparently the
playable version of what they want.
The last few days of just like listen, we don't want our card printed if that's what it's going to be.
Yeah.
Let's figure something out right now on how we make it playable. Because they wanted it playable, and they said the new effect that it was given wasn't very playable, which means maybe the one they had before was like even more busted.
Yeah.
So.
They do have the most interactive art of the champ match because there's so much history in this. They got Drew Maffei, Lion Buddy. They got Toofus in the background. You got the alpaca. You got the waitress. You got Phil Henner, his own champ card.
Is that what he's holding?
He's
holding a champ card.
Yeah, he's holding.
That is Drew in the background.
Yeah, he's holding his 2-dot.
Right.
He's passing the cat. He's passing his 2-dot to the lady.
Well, because she's in the 2-dot.
Yes.
I don't know if she's one of the ones.
I don't know if she's one
but
of
I think
them.
it's like the same idea.
And
it's
then
the cat girl.
Multiple references.
Yeah.
There are cat girls in the 2-dot.
And then Dave's wearing his costume from his card.
Yep.
And then Ben's just drunk and yelling. So I guess that's just
Ben's wearing their like
Atlanta United. Yeah,
soccer
team.
Yeah. Or what? What do they call them? Sweater, right?
I think that's hockey.
And we got the llama.
No, it's an alpaca.
Oh no,
whatever.
it's Kevin the backpacker.
It's a backpacker, man.
I'm gonna get shamed by Phil. He's never gonna give me a copy.
No, he never will. He doesn't watch our show anyway, so you'll be fine.
That's a good point. Yeah. I helped him win this card. I should get a free one.
I helped him win it too. He beat us in top 8. So.
Well, he beat me in top 2.
That I kind of makes you. I think I'd feel worse about it then because that could have been your
there
card.
you go. Don't hit up Phil. Just hit up Dave.
Hit up
Be
Dave.
Like,
Dave, you owe me this card.
You owe me, Dave. All right, so let's move on to surpass your limits. Omaha's, I guess, technically first champ card because you were their second. Technically.
Yeah, I'm first character card. I'll take it. I'm the only Omaha person with a character card.
Yeah.
That's my title.
Only Omaha person with a character card. I'm trying to find. I can't read it on my screen. It's too tiny. So if someone has it, read it.
It's a 3/4 with a 4 high block. Void, Earth, Water, unique weapon. Enhance, flip a foundation, : this attack gets +1 or -2 damage. Respond, destroy, : after you block your opponent's attack, their next check to play an attack gets -X. X equals the printed block modifier of your block. Enhance, once per turn, : look at the top card of your deck. You may discard it.
It's,
turns, right?
What is it? That E is basically pulled the Majigen? But it's a look.
Yeah,
it's a look and discard, right?
And you can discard it, yeah. The top E is basically reverse. It's not reverse, really, but like spike 1 effect-ish. Instead of her speed, it does damage.
Doesn't Chun-Li have something like that, too? You flip a foundation, you get +1 or 2.
+1 or minus, or like I think Sophisha has one, right? Where it's like -1 or +2.
It goes -1 on this current attack and then +2 to your next, I believe.
Yeah, or something like that. So it's stuff like that, and it's the flip cost to do it. So that's the repeatable effect that you can keep doing. The in-turning thing is like if you're playing under Earth, you can block with a stop, commit their character, and breaker 3 them. Or if you're playing multiple copies of this card, you can breaker 4 them basically. And it's not breaker because it says attack, so it's like Journey Westum.
Oh, sure. Okay.
So that's really cool. They said the +4 block was intentional because Richard really loves Fae, and so underwater the +4
gets him an asset or attack, yeah.
Correct, and as a response destroy kind of thing. So if your opponent plays another attack, then you can enhance Fae to pick up another block.
The fools! If they play through
if they play through it,
if they play through your giant breaker, then you can just be like, all right, well, I'm picking up a non-zone block, so whatever.
So that's really cool. There's a lot of references in the card. I'm not pop culture savvy enough to understand any of them, so
I think obviously, like the one is Spike 1.
Yes, Richard is Spike,
and then Dylan is Reese.
No, he's just a cool guy with a sword.
He looks like Reese. Like his hoodie looks like Reese's hoodie, but it's not.
I think Chris is supposed to kind of be Jet. Did he play Jet for this?
No. I think it looks like he's supposed to be a guy from JoJo's, right? Is it like a reference because it's a stand?
I don't know.
From JoJo?
You might be right. I think it's I know that the
The
plane
one
was supposed to be
episode
a
we don't have
reference to
Church on. He
JoJo's
loved
dance.
JoJo. So
Huh?
Church knows all about JoJo. He'd be able to tell us. We should have had Church on too. Damn.
No, I know that it is. It's like little something. Little. I don't remember.
Even
it's
the
from,
name is a reference.
It's
to,
not even like Little Buddy, is it? Because that's what Ben calls Two Face, the little buddy.
No, right, but it's something. It's
Yeah.
little something.
Yeah. It's got a bunch of effects on it. A lot of people did not like the stats on it, obviously, but the stats were intentional.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the stats are the way they are because of the abilities. So.
Yeah, and
it's always a trade-off.
They went about their design. Each person had an effect that they wanted to put on it.
Oh, cool.
And individual effects got nerfed and rebalanced and stuff like
Sure.
that. The card used to be way more busted, apparently, but some effects had to get nerfed because it had so many. So.
Mm-hmm.
So.
All right.
That's what they settled on.
I do want to say though, the art out of this champ batch is some of the best champ batch art I've seen.
Oh, thanks, man.
You're welcome. I like your art. Your art's cool, man.
Well, Tim and I were the only two that I know of, because I haven't looked at the other two, that chose, because like when they ask you, they're like, what kind of style do you want?
Yeah.
And it seems like almost everybody,
Goes
except Tim and I, chose cartoon-ish kind of looking, and I think Tim said realistic, because that's what I said. So
yeah. No, I like
well, he said realistic for his 2-dot, but not for his 3-dot.
Yeah. I mean, and you can see just the difference.
Yeah. All right, we're going to, I think, we've done all the new ones, so we're going to get Barrett's opinions on the UK cards.
On the UK stuff?
On the UK
we already
stuff.
talked about them.
Yeah, we did, but Barrett didn't get a chance because he was on vacation. So
are we doing Mike 2? Or
we're doing Mike 2 first, and then we'll go Judgment Day, and then we'll go Smash. So
okay, so Mike 2, I won't read them just because you should already know what to do.
You should have watched this. You should have watched the episode on Saturday.
I like his character because we have a good new Turbo Man, essentially, and I think Turbo Man brought some really cool stuff. But this guy has a way higher ceiling, but is obviously very linear for that reason with the stat buffing, and there's nothing wrong with that. He chose a niche and he fit to it, and so I really like that. I love the pseudo Cassie effect, right? Where it's remove something and then look at one more extra card, but the rest get milled. You don't get to stack your deck. So like that is the cost and effect kind of thing like that. It obviously doesn't say that you can normally play as well, so like you can get away with just off symboling stuff. So that's obviously very strong.
I like how much people are sort of like dreaming about like, man, I'm just gonna like pack my deck with all these cards I can't play, and like it'll be fine.
Then they get single barreled on their day ends. Yeah.
Well, it just I like it because it just means that like you can pick the all symbol and then play a bunch of good foundations and it like not get super punished for it. And it doesn't really matter because like they are on symbol with your character, just not necessarily on symbol with the rest of your cards.
Sure.
So you can block with it in a worst case scenario, but the point is that you get to play really strong stuff.
He could be the best power flip character in the game.
Pretty
close.
I mean, he's certainly like the best with like power
you have
flip
to
and, like,
still
some
set
of
it
the
up.
things
Oh yeah, you have to set it up for sure. But no, what I'm saying is
that's the hardest part. And like that's the thing too is like I've been telling people I was like I don't know what to do with Cassie after not every year rotates because it's coming out soon.
Yeah.
So
I've been shooting some ideas with him because I'm planning if I can get the card in time. I'm playing him for Rockford. And one idea is to do Bastion Stance, Power Flip, Fusion Refusal, and just recycle that stuff over. And then because you also get Mayfia's Assault too. You get Mayfia's Assault too off of Earth, and you get to get the extra card off the top when you mill. So you technically get 2 of the cards off your enhance.
Yeah, one to hand, one to build. Yeah.
Are you gonna run the Dimitri one before it rotates?
What Dimitri one?
It gives your non-throw like +3.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll see.
I think with that kind of idea too, like Carrying the Legacy is actually a good card for that too, because you can selectively snipe something down and then bring the Carrying the Legacy down, and do it again. On more attacks. So like I like that kind of synergy. Like you're right. I think Power Flip with him is incredibly powerful. Whatever, but it is going to take some card pool manipulation,
Yeah.
which
Oh, for sure.
these symbols can obviously do.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But I totally agree that like the fact that he's a male and can play Scorch Wheel is good. And that's kind of what I was reiterating is like I'm glad we have a new Turbo Man that is just better in my opinion because he can do different things.
Yeah.
And has a higher ceiling. And the fact that he's a male means that we can play Scorch Wheel.
Mhm.
How long do you think all that maxi stuff is sticking around? Not long.
I don't know if there's rock for BTC, depending on what deck Jazer plays.
I mean,
Well,
you
also
know,
Mike's. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I'm not like.
Yeah.
Yeah. I definitely think that.
Out of the 2 decks I was talking about, one of them involves exactly that. So
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I mean, definitely like. It seems to me that even like getting rid of.
Oh
Maxi,
man, Mike was so sad. Like Mike was super hyped when like all the Maxi stuff came out on the show he was talking about, and he goes, "Then they said I had to nerf my character because it was too good because of all the
That
Maxi
was-
stuff
that was
came
the
out."
funniest
well,
part.
they,
Was
what was it? They told him at first like, oh, your
He
character's
was
fine.
bad.
Yeah,
Oh, and they
his
said it was
character's not that
bad.
good.
No, they said he was
bad.
bad.
Okay.
And then the Maxi stuff came out, and then he was broken, and then they had to change him again. Yeah. Maybe
That's
Maxi
right.
stuff
Well,
is
that
just
Max-
broken.
Yeah, that's yeah, and I miss Maxi so much because Maxi was the character I was playing to not play Cassie anymore,
Sure.
and my friend had to go ban him. So
Eh.
I mean, that's sort of a lesson too for anyone out there who's like aspiring to be a champ. If people are like hating on like your proposed design, like don't worry.
Yeah.
The card pool changes so much. Like
Mhm.
it's like if you have like decent sort of like fundamentals, like it just kind of boils down to like what gets printed.
Yeah.
yeah,
it's-
like
yeah.
I was blessed by Skullbearer being put in longer rotation for my character.
Oh sure.
I was building my character knowing that you would only probably have
Like one or two of them.
one or zero sets
Yeah.
with it. Obviously, if it comes out like
Mhm.
July 1st, it would be 0, and all I would get was Dita. But the fact that they blessed me with another few sets of Skull Barrier,
Mhm.
like that's really cool because like I get to start with this like, well, here's the peak of what it could be when I designed it, right?
Yeah.
And we have to see how it changes and evolves.
Sure.
And I think that's the same thing here. They're definitely putting this card pool manipulation, building foundations, really hardcore into the all symbol right now, but it was already existing in the good symbol. So it's really cool to see that like this character just gets stronger because even like you look at like Folktale Storyteller or whatever, like as long as that card's in standard, this character has more foundations to do it.
Yeah.
Because he's a 7-hander, he will do fine. And he's one of the few 7-handers that has the all symbol, which a lot of people think is incredibly powerful right now. The only big competitor right now is Dijonette.
Yeah,
So-
she's done okay, right? The last couple.
Yeah,
of months.
I think she's doing pretty good.
Nah, she's crap.
She
She's
might
no
be
good at
pretty
all.
good.
She's not good. She's not good at all. All right, so we should move on to Judgment Day. Will be the
Yeah,
next
okay.
one. Do you have that pulled up?
I do.
Okay.
Let me reread it. Oh yeah, this is Surveyor for low hand size people. The card's crazy.
The card's really good.
Okay, because like that's the perk if you're a low hand size person.
Right.
Oh, and you can pick this block back up with Breaker 1 and a 2 mid block to selectively flip something.
Mhm.
So
And
like
gain
for
in
every
vitality.
reason why I was playing War for Armageddon, because that's really good right now, this does it, but I get to recycle a block instead of playing a 2/4 non-block.
Basically the 2/4
Hey,
non-block.
hey.
Yes.
It has a +4.
Yeah. It basically has no block on it.
Oh yeah, you're right. Sorry, you're right. It actually has a +4 block.
Yeah, but it basically
I
has no
forgot.
block.
I actually just think it has a non-block. Yeah. So picking up the momentum now that Surveyor's out of rotation, this
Mhm.
card does that. I really like that they chose to put that ability on this card.
Yeah.
I'm glad it's a response. So
And
and
the thing is too is after you play it as a form.
right.
So it's not like you can
you're
block
gonna
it.
you're gonna get the other benefit of the card, which is cycling it. I love
Yeah.
the cycleness of this
Mhm.
card, right?
What
You
did
only
we say?
get the real.
We
What?
called it it is the most realist of cards ever because what Rio likes to do is throw your throw, hit you for some damage, build his control pieces, rinse, repeat, and I like it. I think the card's
I don't know who Rio is. I've never met the guy, so
even he's the guy in the middle. He's the muscular man.
Mhm.
Even if you don't have the R active, it's still a really, really good card as an E because it's a free block. Basically, it's a free block.
Honestly, I think that's going to be the most interesting thing to me is how much this shows up in like 6s and even 7s, just as a foundation hate piece that you can loop. I expect it to. I mean, I definitely think that there will be plenty of decks, like even like 7-handers that are going to run like 1 or 2 copies of it because like having that like kind of on demand like foundation hate is so like just unrestricted is so good.
And you were talking about it too. Is like, and then 2 of these symbols you also get hunt, so it's just like and under the other symbol you get War for Armageddon as well. Like, so the amount of flip that this is like this card. I was already not liking. I don't think it's like busted or anything, but like flip foundation vicious with the Siegfried support that came out, right? Like, because like people were like, oh, this deck's gonna be really good again or whatever. And now you have an extra piece, and it also doubles up as a defense thing.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy. Because it also gains your vitality, man. This triggers
Patriot Stance.
Night of the Conqueror.
Oh, okay, so
Conqueror of Night and Day. Sorry,
Tim Keefe goes Baby Cormorant with a big bonus.
Yeah, and I hate Cormorant. I really do. I hate it because I hate Cormorant. I don't play it in any deck except for Donovan 2-Dot.
What about Jet?
No, man. I don't care. I'd rather play Strongest Style, which I did.
What a maniac.
I remember blocking that card against Tim Keefe at Worlds when he beat my ass. And he's all like, oh, that is Breaker 4. So it was fun. But I love that. I love the cycleness. It's perfect for 2 of its symbols. I think Earth and Life love that kind of idea. And the death is the foundation control, I think, really, where it comes from. And the fact that 5-handers or even 4-handers now have cycling, like even just piecing Goro under Earth is like, oh, somebody removed all my attacks in my discard pile. Well, good thing I took this one as momentum.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like it's a fail-safe that like instead of picking up an attack, you can pick this up, have a block for the turn.
It allows him to cycle if he wants to fatality mill somebody. It allows him to.
I was already thinking of that, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, for sure.
You can this becomes the new way to mill fatality and 5-handers. And I don't remember his name, but I played against him I think twice now. But he played a fatality loop deck with Johnny Cage, and this has Earth, so like you can do it. So
gross.
Sure can.
Well, that's the thing is like Anacrus is gone, and then I did it. JJ and I built one with Liu Kang, old Liu Kang, underwater, and so like this just gives you more access under life of just like doing that exact thing or any other symbol really, like because this card says pick up the momentum back as long as you have.
You know, do you think
the caveat might be big enough to where it's like, oh, that's not reliable because if you're a 5-hander, play against another 5-hander, like
do you think this could go into like Jackie, where she'd pick it up and use it for powerful 6, flip your best foundation, and
Jackie loves foundation denial because there's a lot of foundations that mess her up.
Yeah,
I mean Jackie might be one of the biggest ones where I was talking about with like running this and Swordfish 2.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh,
sure.
You get it back every turn. Yeah.
Delete their attack and then just like pick up Swordfish 2 again.
Yeah, that's crazy too because this has life. Like, because Surveyor left, but this came back.
Yeah.
So.
Sick. All right. On to United Kingdom of Smash.
There you go.
Yes.
Does anyone like this more than Kevin Broberg?
I love this card. I think it's awesome. It's Powerful Assassin, man.
I meant character-wise.
Oh, character-wise. Oh, okay. Fair enough. Yeah. Mike likes it too. Mike's 2-Dot likes it just for the extra card on the opponent's turn, and he say you build something face down that he has to flip or recycle or transform. Mike Hardiman 2-Dot is really good with this.
That's pretty good. It's pretty good.
I think it's okay. I'm not. This is probably the card I'm least blown away by.
Did you play when Powerful Assassin was around?
No.
Okay.
He doesn't know about the powerful axe,
I feel like this is what is becoming clear to me. And it's like, did you play when Powerful Assassin was around? It's like, no. It's like, okay.
Powerful Assassin is just insane.
Listen, I only like this card because of the second effect.
Oh, no. The Powerful Assassin, its main ability was the E commit, but it gave -2 speed, +2 damage. and you picked up a foundation. So you gave
like
it,
yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's the good part about this card. I think under good, you already have characters that do this. This card does it too, but you get stats. And so like a character like Woodman loves this card. And in that deck, you're also probably playing White House because that's your terrain, but you can still get away with playing this.
Mhm.
And so the fact like you building, getting the draws, and then selectively picking up blocks, like that's really good.
You mean he's just gonna draw more and more because he doesn't kill anybody, he just gets draws. So
yeah.
For what it's worth, Powerful Assassin also had R lose 2 after they play an attack, draw a card.
Yeah.
So
okay.
And Powerful Assassin didn't have a block, I believe. It was a 2/5 non-block, I believe. So this actually kind of power creeps.
I mean, that was only playable if they had 0 momentum too. So, excuse me. It was only playable once per turn, but you only drew if they had no momentum.
I already think this card's crazy for Dr. Wily, but like that doesn't matter because he.
Dr. Wily.
Yeah, like it's an ally, and it's under evil, which is probably the strongest symbol. It lets you pick up the face-down attacks that you built off of Skull Fortress, and so you can pick them back up, and it gives you an extra hand size, which you already had.
Yeah.
So like it makes him an 8-hander with extra allies in the deck, to pick up the face-down foundations.
Like
that's really cool, but like.
Yeah.
That character is so dated now that I just don't think it works.
Well, like I think I see Selinka playing this too. You have so many face downs anyways, like that and White House. She's going to be an 8-hander as well. So
yeah, and I think that's one of the biggest things. Like I see this card, I'm like, I think anybody that was already playing White House is going to play this. But you really have to fit into the gimmick, or you really have to play a lot of face downs or build face downs off the top. Like Chun-Li will like this card, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
Like it works. Like, especially getting that extra hand size on her is actually really nice.
It's actually very, very, very viable.
But that means you didn't use the effect on your turn, so then it's like I don't know.
Yeah.
If the second effect said playable while committed, this card would be crazy.
That's the hot takes right now.
I think originally it wasn't once per turn. The R wasn't your turn.
It was
so
once per turn.
You could do it on both turns, and that was sort of something where they were like, no.
They didn't, because basically with Mike's character, it was broken with Mike's character because he would be like a 9-hand size on attacking turns.
Just look at Timmy Two Belts over here. He's picked 2 characters that if we gauge them together, they're crazy. All these champs with multiple cards are running the business right now. Little old me is like, what do I do?
That's sort of the nice thing about if you have a character and like an asset coming out in the same batch, like you almost do get to like give yourself like a little bit of support possibly. So
that's my goal. It's my goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Kevin
you were pretty close, man.
You were.
I know. JJ's upset at me, but he has his own now. But I told JJ that I would win him a national team title with me. Right. So I'm hoping to get another piece of cardboard in this next year. But
cool.
I want to put my other ability on it.
Oh, there you go.
That I couldn't fit on my character card because the effect was too long.
It's because you had the flavor text. That's why.
Yeah,
it's flavor text or third ability.
Flavor text had to go, or had to stay.
Well, that's pretty much it for the champ cards that have been spoiled. There's only a few left.
I think we're waiting on 2 assets from Vegas.
Yeah,
assets
from Vegas. So
number 8 and number 12. Where are you?
Oh, someone has.
I want to know.
Oh wow!
I have a collection on my phone, and I've been trying to get them all for days now, and I'm upset.
Oh. I mean, I know who you can bother for the 1, but
yeah,
I'm this close to sending Chris Pratt a message, and I don't know him like at all.
I mean, like, I could probably message Ryan. Ryan probably would tell me, right?
And I don't even know who owns the other one.
It was JC, William
Bryan,
and Bryce.
And
William Bryan. Yeah.
Gotcha.
You could probably message William Bryan for that one, most likely.
Yeah.
So.
Because from what I've heard from Vegas, like the other 2 guys are like vanished off the face of the earth. So.
They normally do that until a new set comes out, and then, or when Worlds comes around, and then they play again. So that's usually.
What about the PTC?
I don't know if they play the PTC.
Does Vegas have a PTC this year?
No, they don't. No, Did they? No, Reno had one. I know that.
Yeah.
I know that. But yeah.
All right.
We did it. Yay.
Yay, we did that. We did our third live stream because technically I had live streamed the event yesterday. So third live stream in a row. Hooray. Thanks for sticking with us, people, for an hour and 40 minutes.
What's wrong with you? Don't you have better things to do?
Nah, man, they want to hear our hot takes on this stuff and just have me sit here shuffle cards while you two just try to talk over each other the entire time.
Wait, hot cakes? I love hot cakes.
I love hot cakes too. I'm gonna go have some right now. I had some dessert. That chili dog casserole I had for dinner was fantastic. Look at Rob's face. He's like, I don't believe this.
That's oof.
Chili dog casserole? That was
It
delicious.
just sounds like heartburn.
I don't have heartburn, I think. But anywho, yeah. So no show on Thursday because this was the weekly show. We'll come back next week with something. Next week would be Sacramento preview. So maybe I'll see.
Gotta make some picks.
Maybe I'll see if Danny Mosley's available because he needs a Patreon sponsorship episode. So, and he lives in California, so he may be going. So
Right.
I'll touch base with him and we'll figure it out. So you didn't crunch loud enough, man.
I need to get some points.
You do because you're still in dead last.
Yay.
Because me, Barrett, and the guests are all tied at 7. So.
Whoa! What? I got a point.
Yeah. You got. Oh, yeah, that's right. You weren't on. You got a point because you got the diversities. No diversities. Yeah, dude. There you go.
Because there were 20 people and none of them played the same character.
Yep.
That's just, I think I'm just gonna say 0 for all the events now.
I don't know about Rockford. Rockford, we may hit 5.
I mean, here's the thing. If Rockford
in top 16, there has to be at least one.
Yeah, if we hit top 16 in Rockford, that there's gonna be at least 3. I'd say.
I don't know about that, but
I don't know. So, especially if we have a pre-release, because if it's pre-release weekend, people are gonna start dropping because then they can start doing drafts, and I think
I don't know. It'll be weird though, because like that's also the first one with champ characters, and they'll be a little hard to get. So people are like, I want to avoid diversity at a 60-something person event.
Yeah,
I'll play my champ card.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And give 0 copies out to the competition.
I feel like usually it's like it's like come find me after the event or after signups.
Yeah, that's what I told Mike just to send me a copy and 4 smashes.
What a dick!
And Trent chimed in, "Hey motherfucker, I need those too." So now like
only me.
Yeah, I was like only me because I'm the only one who's supposed to be. I told you I would play you because he's gonna. I guess they have the UK Cup that weekend. And I think Mike is playing his character as well. So we're having a competition to see who can do better. It's probably going to be him. So, because he's a way better player than I am. So, but yeah. Anywho.
He probably hasn't been playing this character for the past, 6 months.
Yeah, whatever. I've been trying to, I'm like, you test him out. You just give me the deck so I can play it a couple weeks in advance. That's all I need to do. But yeah. I think that ends the show. Like, comment, subscribe. Hit the notification bell if you're not missing a thing. Look out for more episodes of the Guile Treatment coming soon. No live stream this weekend. No episode on Thursday. Watch all the Versus Series content. Please share it. We are like 463 subscribers. Trying to push for 500. I'm going to give away a box when we hit 500. So, bug your friends. Let's go.
Box of what?
Huh?
Wait, a box of what?
Probably
we'll have to see what's out, won't we?
See if
what if I want to win
it? Team members of the Guile Treatment and Rockford CCG properties are not viable to win said contests.
What? Scott's a nice guy.
Oh no, he's not part. He's not part of the Rockford CCG show family. So Scott could win something.
Yeah, he's just your side piece, Rob.
He's your sidekick, Rob. So. Whenever you do Schneid remarks, you can have Scott as your color commentary guy. So.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
I'm sure he's just lining up.
I know he is. So. All right, everyone. Have a good night. We'll talk to you later.